It's okay to be single, bro. Like, it's okay to not have a girlfriend in 2026. It's okay to not have a bunch of girls waiting for you to text them and hang out with them or mess with them or whatever it is that you do. It's okay to not be cuffed in 2026. There's so many people my age, early 20s, people in their early 20s, men especially. I want to say this in the perspective of a man because that's what I am, right? I don't know exactly what the perspective of a woman is like in this situation, but from a perspective of a man, it's okay to be single. There's so many people that get caught up in finding a girlfriend and finding the right one and finding somebody to complete you as a man. But people don't realize that being single isn't a bad thing to try to escape from. It's not something that every man should be wanting to escape the minute that they realize what it is, right? I was watching one of Paulie Walnuts' videos that he posted this week, and he talked about the male loneliness epidemic. And, Paulie is a guy that I watch every week, every time he posts, because his videos resonate with me really well. But this one especially really hit me because for a while, I thought that being lonely was a curse, right? Being a man and not having anyone to talk to or to check up on you all the time felt lonely, right? It felt like I was worth less because I didn't have a girl that wanted me. I didn't have a girl to talk to each and every day or to take out or to FaceTime every day, you know what I mean? And for a while, and sometimes even now, these negative thoughts do hit me every now and then. But then I realized that being single now isn't a bad thing. And that's because I've grown to enjoy my own company. I've grown to enjoy not having, again, as nice as it is sometimes, I've grown to enjoy not having somebody check up on me 24/7, asking where I am, right? I've grown to enjoy being alone because I've changed my perspective about it. Nowadays, I think that being single is a blessing, not just for the reasons I mentioned earlier, where you don't have to worry about somebody else and taking care of somebody else, but you get to focus on becoming a better man each and every day. You get to focus on yourself, which is really cliche for people to say, but it's true. You get to focus on being a better version of yourself each and every day so that when you get to the point where you do feel more ready or that girl does come around whenever God sends her, you can become a better man, a better boyfriend, a better husband to her. And I also like to think about some of the greatest people that ever walked this earth. Like, of course, Jesus Christ. He famously never got married. He never had any woman with him in his life romantically. He was the greatest man to ever walk this earth. But of course, other people like Nikola Tesla famously didn't have a girl. He didn't have a wife, and he famously dedicated himself to science or to discovery, right? Which was something that he was passionate about. And I don't mention these people to say that you need to be like them, right? Because I think as a man, we all have the desire to be with another woman, right? To have your girl, to have your person. Like read up on Genesis 2, or God created woman for man, right? So it's not a bad thing to want these things. I think that God put this in our hearts. But at the same time, we shouldn't demonize being single. So I don't want this to come off as me trying to tell you to stay single for the rest of your life, like some people, but I think that it's okay to be comfortable while being single. And if you haven't found the right one yet, like I said before, you should focus on bettering yourself each day. And with that, as you better yourself, you can put yourself in situations to meet new people and like-minded people, right? Which can then lead you to find the girl that can complement your life, the girl that you want. But also, again, that comes with balance as well. You don't want to over obsess with looks maxing and self improvement because then you really isolate yourself from everybody else and you become obsessed with yourself. You become a narcissist in a way. So while you improve yourself, put yourself in situations where you can meet people that are also trying to do the same things that you're doing or people that are aligned with your interests as well. And the truth is, some men might not even be ready for a relationship yet. There's dudes out here that are still gooning every day. There's dudes out here that are still idolizing women in a way that makes them think that they need one to complete their life. And I think that if you're one of those men who believe that you need a woman to complete your life, then you're not ready to have a girl. You're not ready to have a wife. You're not ready to be in a relationship. As a man, no other person should complete you, right? A woman should complement your life. She shouldn't complete it because then you put too much emphasis and you put too much weight on something that you can't control. Like you can't control the way a woman treats you. You can't control if a woman stays by you for the rest of your life. You can't control any of that, right? So you need to be comfortable with the idea that a woman should complement you and not complete you. And I think then and only then can you be ready for a relationship. Obviously, if you're still gooning every day, you need to seek God first of all. But I think that's a sure sign that you're definitely not ready to have a girl yet. You need to learn how to have self-control, self-respect, and respect for other women, right? Because otherwise, I've heard so many stories of people that have gotten into relationships while they were gooning, and most of the time, if not all the time, these relationships get negatively impacted, like in serious ways, to the point where the relationship ends after the other person finds out. But it's not just that, like being lazy or thinking negatively all the time, thinking negatively about other people, being angry all the time. Like these things, like as a man, are things that you need to work on before you allow somebody else into your life to take care of eventually, right? To take care of and to nurture and to grow with that person. Because I don't think it's fair as a man to be struggling with so many things and to have bringing somebody else into your life, and I guess having them deal with that burden that should have been fixed before you got into that relationship. But back to the main thing. I want to say that I'm a 24-year-old man and I've had no real dating experience yet. And I'm saying this without any shame because I don't think anyone's really going to watch this video, and I'm kind of using this as my video diary. But I'm 24 years old. I live in America and I've had no real dating experience. And for a very long time, I thought that something was wrong with me. I thought that I was worth less. I didn't have a girl to validate me, to validate myself as a man, to make me feel like I was worthy enough for love. But over time, my relationship with God obviously is a main factor in this. But in general, over time, as I've gotten older, I've not only been comfortable with being single, but I've enjoyed it a lot more. And I obviously my desire is to have a girl eventually, right? Whenever that time comes, whenever God deems it fit for me to have one. But I've come to enjoy my own company. I've come to enjoy doing my own thing without having to worry or to please anyone else. Again, I've mentioned this before, but I don't have to worry about somebody worrying about my every move or who I'm talking to. It kind of sounds superficial or shallow, but I have more money to invest in myself and the other people in my life that I love, and I don't have to please anyone else in my life, right? It's just me, my family, my friends. I don't really have anyone right now besides that to please. And again, this isn't a perfect way to think because I do want to eventually have a girl, but as I'm bettering myself and as I'm finding it more comfortable being in my own company, I kind of realized that I can be a little bit more picky with who I let into my life. I don't have to pick the closest girl or the one girl or the first girl that or the first girl that I'm attracted to or the first girl that finds attraction in me. I can be more picky, or I should say more intentional with the people I let into my life because I'm in a situation where I can enjoy myself as company. And that's, again, I want to end this video off by saying, I think as a man, we should welcome the idea of having a spouse in your life, of having a family. But the main point I wanted to make in this video is that if you're not there yet, if you're struggling to find somebody, I know that there's so many videos out there complaining about the dating market and how so many girls are playing games and the game is ruined, the game is finished, whatever. I just want to say that it's okay to not be there yet. It's okay to not have found the right one yet. If you're young, enjoy being young. Enjoy being single while you can. Because if you're intentional about what you're doing, if you're bettering yourself every day, if you're putting yourself in situations where you can find the girl that aligns with your beliefs, that aligns with your lifestyle, that complements your lifestyle, she will come around. And I think that prayer helps as well. If you're praying to God for this woman, then I think that she will come around. And if you don't intend to find a girl and you're comfortable with being single for the rest of your life as well, then that's okay too. Like I said earlier, there were a lot of very important men in history that have remained single for their entire lives. So that's okay too. But yeah, this was something that was on my mind recently. This is something that I've been dealing with, again, for a while, but I wanted to just share my thoughts, put in my 2 cents. I appreciate you guys for watching. God bless y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.